So protesters defacing property.
Yeah, protesters, especially the Palestine. They're just the one that I seen. It was in the United States. I think it was one of the government buildings. Maybe it was the White House. Big gates, big concrete thing in front of them, painting their hands red and putting them all over. Saying this is the blood of everybody, all the Palestine people. That was great. I also had somebody comment about that. Oh, now they have all their fingerprints. Good to go. But why would you deface stuff? Like, I don't understand. Why are they violent? Like, I've seen people go up to them trying to protest the opposite way, like Israel people going up there. And they're vicious, like this is the way. This is a friendly protest. Like, when you protest something, it's supposed to be, you protest something and it's supposed to be, somewhat friendly.
Yep.
But they're taking it to the extreme. And I know they've had a hard time over there in Palestine. It's basically like open air concentration camp, basically over there. They have a wall all around Palestine. If you actually look at Google Earth, you can see it's totally enclosed. But that still doesn't give you the right to, to go with blows with people and deface stuff, especially in the United States. You don't deface the place that you're at that has, brought you over and, having somewhat of a good life over here compared to Palestine. And so why would you want to do that? Like, why would you want to deface the country that you live in now? You know what I mean? So I really don't understand the mentality of that. So I don't know. And there's a lot and the people saying that, oh, well, Israel was bombing and stuff like that over there. Yeah, but they're a terrorist group that controls Palestine came over, Hamas, and they killed a whole bunch of people. And not just, okay, you picked out civilians, not army people. Okay, the army could have went in there, Palestine Army, whatever their terrorist group, whatever, I don't know what the hell they're called, Hamas, whatever, came over. I know they're very upset and they're on the breaking point of, but you don't go over. You want to go over to kill their soldiers and stuff. Not normal people, not babies. Like, they beheaded babies, burnt babies, cut people's heads off, cut limbs off of them and stuff like that. You don't do that. And that's why when they see that, especially our people over here, when they hear about it and stuff, right away against Palestine because of that, because they harbor terrorists, basically, right? And what's your thoughts on this before I get too carried away?
No, keep going before I chime in.
Yeah. So I don't know. What's your thoughts on that? Just that little bit.
See, as far as the protesting, I get it. It's heated. It isn't taking it to the extreme. I think it's equal to the subject that they're protesting. Lots of lives were lost, both sides. So I get that they're very passionate, either side. The Palestinians and the Israelis are very passionate to what they're protesting. So I get why it gets so heated when they're at each other and probably in very close proximity. They're protesting right beside each other, right? I get that. As far as the defacing stuff, every protester does that. That's how they get attention. There's the people that were throwing paint in the Louvre in France on the Mona Lisa. They put red paint on the pyramid glass structure there to protest climate change. Like, what does that even have anything to do with it? It's just to get attention, right? And then when they get arrested, when they get interviewed, they get put on TV, they tell them, they advertise what their issue is. So
Oh,
I expect that from protests.
and just to let you know, we're talking about all protesters, not just the Palestine people.
Yeah.
We're talking about global eco protests and stuff like that. We'll be getting into that later. Just right after this, right after the Palestine and Israel thing.
So, well, yeah. So all those protests, that's how they
Well,
happen.
because
That's how you get attention. That's how you get on TV. That's how you get published on the news.
yeah,
That's how you get your word
the
out.
problem is that these people,
They've been doing that since like
they're all for, I guess, the Hamas, the Palestine people. And why would they want to be?
I don't see, from what I've read, they're not for the Hamas. They're for stopping the attacks, the Israeli attacks
The
in
Israel
Gaza.
attacks are attacking the Hamas army that's inside there. And okay, now if I'm a Palestine person and I'm there, and I know, okay, 3 doors down, there's a big complex down there that's full of weapons and stuff. Happens to be near a school.
That's exactly where they put it. They put it in public structures
Because
with civilians.
yes, so they don't bomb them.
Yep, that's exactly
Right?
what terrorist groups do.
Okay, so as a terrorist, like as a person living in there that's not a terrorist,
Or going to that
wouldn't
school
you
or by
wanna
the hospital.
say to somebody, or wouldn't the people want to fight against the Hamas that's there and say, get the hell out? Like you're a terrorist group. Get the frick out of here.
I get that
sometimes
sentiment.
your people, you got a lot more people than the army that's there. You got to rise up and do something against these people.
Bring 50, 20 people. There's one guy, a building full of guns. What are you going to do?
No, I'm just saying, but I know, but there's something that has to be done more than just saying, well, oh well, they're beside us. There's got to be some kind of, get the people away from that area. Tell the Israel people, they're right there. Go start the bomb. Why would you want to be in an area? Like if I'm a person, I'm getting the hell out. I'm making sure that I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on around me for a whole block. Why would I want to be in an area that I know underground? Oh my God. And tell me, oh, they don't know? Everybody knows what's going on around them. I know what's going around me all the time. Like if I know, oh, there's a strange building going up, I see all these people going in all the time. But there's no place of business.
What if instead of putting
shady?
What if instead of putting on that building, saying terrorist building filled with weapons and soldiers?
No.
What if they put Canadian Army, blah blah blah, or whatever else?
I know. But some people you just get the sixth sense of that.
I don't know
a
if
lot
the
of people
Hamas
probably don't, but I don't know. But I'm just saying that people have to, especially in Palestine. Okay, if you know that those people are there, get the hell out of there somehow. And I know it's a big deal, and they don't have nothing to go from here to there, and they're very poor, and they can't get it over that way because they have nothing for nothing. You know what I mean? To get over to where they have to get to get out of the danger zones of all these guys. And I've looked at where all their tunnels are. They're all over the freaking place in Palestine. Those Hamas have tunnels all under everything.
Probably. And that's what you can find. Imagine
that's what the Israel people are going into those tunnels and trying to get the people out so they don't have to have so many casualties on the outside. But, if they're firing stuff over from beside a school, they're going to fire onto the school because they know somebody's there. And then the Palestine people are like, oh, you're fighting, you're shooting our schools and stuff like that. I'm like, you can't win.
Nope.
It's like
they're using them as cover. That's exactly why they're there, right? What do you do though? You
shield.
Yeah, but what do you do as Palestinians?
A lot of people.
Do you leave
but
the
a
country?
Lot of people over in Israel, they don't do that. They have a big army. They have one of the toughest armies, in the world.
Yeah, but like as a Palestinian, what do you do? You can't leave your country just because there's terrorist groups around.
Yeah, but what? Like I don't know. Whatever that thing that they have to do, they have to start doing it right away because Israel is going to go in there and bombard them like
they're doing now. But again,
it's just. But I don't know why the people over here, like they had some people. I know they're very fanatic and stuff like that about what it is and stuff. And the Palestine people over here, very fanatic about what they believe in and stuff like that. But like I've seen a couple weird things like Palestine people and stuff like that. They're in like Germany and stuff like that, and it's just weird. Like what's going on? Like they just want to take over stuff. I'm just like, okay.
yeah, it's a deep-rooted conflict, right? I don't know when this all started, but it's deep-rooted. They've been split apart. They've been fighting over the same pile of land for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. I'm not really sure. So it's deep-rooted hatred, almost, or animosity, at least, between the Israelis and the Palestinians, because they want that land. They had it at one point. Israel took it back. Then they had some kind of accord that actually they said you stay on that corner and we stay on this corner. So I get the deep-rooted hatred
the
everywhere.
Gaza Strip, and then you have the West Bank, and they're kind of splitting between there.
Yeah, they had some kind of accord that they wanted.
And
you stay here and we'll go here.
But I just, you know,
like I get they're like just, holy lands. It's all religious, right?
Yeah, yeah. You know,
they're holy lands built on top of somebody else's holy land, and they want it back. Some of them are denying access to it at all, total access to it. So I get the deep-rooted sentiments all around the world. But as far as this conflict happening right now, I mean, it was well planned by Hamas, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
They spent the last probably year saying that, oh, okay, well, we want to work it out with you, Israel. That's why they brought, they put the guard down. They stopped looking at them. They started looking in Israel, all their conflicts. And then they got taken advantage of just now. I mean,
yeah, well.
And if you're the Palestinian population, if that terrorist group, Hamas, that's controlling your country right now, is saying that publicly, you kind of let your guard down too, right? Like, oh, well, maybe these guys going into this building beside the school or hospital, they're calming stuff down already. You're not going to be as urgent to get out. But then you wake up the next morning, they've attacked Israel, they've crossed the border, multi-pronged attacks. And then the next day, 2 days later, you're getting bombed. It's nothing to prepare for.
I just thought it was kind of really, like, it was not a very good thing that they went into Israel and they did what they did to those people. They cut them down like nothing, like they were nothing. And it didn't really even make a point because it wasn't even in their army. It was just, well, it did make a point. It made a lot of people feel sorry for Israel.
There was a lot of casualties, but they took a lot of hostages too, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they were holding
took
them
over 200 hostages.
Exactly. So I think that was like the primary reason for it, is to have hostages and get a reaction.
Between taking a hostage that's a military person. Yeah, you know what you're getting yourself into. You're in the military. You might be taken hostage, but you don't take a 10-year-old girl. Okay, there's a big difference there. Okay, that's just, it's like a war crime almost.
War is war.
Well,
the history of humanity, all the things that armies have done to take over another piece of land.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I know we've evolved since then. It just means we can kill people better now. It doesn't mean we're any better people.
I guess some have evolved. Take it. Some have not too much. I don't know.
War's war. I think gloves are off.
Okay.
Anything goes.
So that's enough of the Palestine people and their stuff. We're gonna get to the next protesters. Oh, you're gonna love this one. Climb.